My name is Rich Engel, Assistant Principal at West Albany High School, and we are excited to provide you with an opportunity to see what a day in the life of our high school students is going to look like once we are able to open up into hybrid starting in the fourth quarter. As the students line up to enter the building, they will all be socially distanced, a minimum of 6 feet apart, and they will be met by a staff member at the front door who will initially do a visual screening. That visual screening, they'll look for any unusual coloration in the student's face, any unusual behavior as if they're lethargic or unusually fatigued, looking for any significant coughing that may be happening, respiratory symptoms that are not typical for that particular student, shortness of breath, possible chills, a general appearance of feeling ill, or obviously vomiting. Once we've done that initial visual screening, we will also ask each student individual questions as they come through the line. These questions include, do you have a temperature of 100.4 or higher, or do you feel feverish or chilled? Are you experiencing any of the typical COVID-19 symptoms such as fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, persistent headache, fatigue, body aches or pains, nausea, vomiting or diarrhea, sore throat, or a loss of taste or smell? Have you been diagnosed with COVID-19 in the past 10 days? To the best of your knowledge, have you been in close contact with anyone diagnosed with COVID-19 in the past 2 weeks? And finally, have you or anyone in your household been tested for COVID-19 and are awaiting test results? Once we've gone through these questions and the visual observations, students will enter the building. They will scan their student body card, which will put a timestamp on the time they enter the building, and it also acknowledges that their answers to all of the screening questions was no. After they've done that, they will disinfect their hands and they will walk individually, again socially distanced, down the hallway, one way on the right-hand side of each hallway to enter their classroom. As the students enter the classroom, they will immediately report to their assigned seat. They can change on a weekly basis, but they must remain in the same spots for at least 1 week so that they are in the same cohort in the classroom, but also within the same cohort within their seating area. They will go through normal instruction from each of their teachers. There will be a maximum of 16 students in each classroom. We don't want students simply sitting in front of their computer screens here at school. They've had enough of that at home. We want them to be engaging with their peers and with their teachers in a more traditional school setting. Once the class is ended, the students will stand up approximately 2 minutes before the end of the period, and the teacher in that room will go around and will spray the disinfectant spray on the tables or desks where the students have been sitting. This has to sit for 4 minutes to allow it to do its job. And then students will be released. Once the students have left the classroom, single file, one at a time, again, maintaining social distancing, the teacher will go around the classroom and will wipe down each area. Passing time between each class will be 10 minutes, but students will need to go directly to their next classroom and follow the same procedures as they did in the previous classroom. At the end of the third class of each day, we will have 1 hour for lunch. Students that do not have a fourth class of the day will be required to leave campus and return home. Every student will have the opportunity to pick up a lunch as they leave the building. Students that do have a class pick up their lunch and they will sit in designated areas, socially distanced, but they'll have the opportunity to engage with their friends and peers. Our hope is that our students are so excited to be back in school that we will follow all of the guidelines, wearing our masks, remaining socially distanced, continually cleaning and disinfecting our hands and the areas that we sit. We are super excited to have our kids back in school. If you have questions about any of this, please contact your individual school building, and you may talk to anyone in the front office, the administrators, or any of the counselors.